listening to Somos Hollywood, a podcast where Latinos in film and TV talk about their recent projects and the ongoing fight for more inclusion in the industry. I mean, we're already here, and we're not going anywhere. So yeah, apúrense. We are ready. We are talented. We are Hollywood. Somos Hollywood.
Hey, Raúl, thanks a lot for taking the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kiko.
Congratulations on the film. I don't know if you remember, I'm from San Antonio, Texas, so I wanted to see when was the last time you were here?
Yeah, of course I remember. I drove through San Antonio last month. I was in Austin working on a short film with some friends and visiting my brother, and then I drove down to the valley to see my mom and some family. So I I drove down 35 and it took me around the 410 loop. And I was amazed at like the amount of construction in especially the north end of San Antonio. It didn't even take me like I didn't even go through the city because I guess there's so much construction these days that my GPS took me like around the loop. And typically, I mean, I've done that drive probably hundreds of times, if not thousands of times, and and it was the first time it didn't take me straight through the city, and I was kind of bummed out because I always loved driving through San Antonio and at least seeing the city if I'm not getting to visit it.
Right. Yeah. The joke around here was that it could take 15 minutes to get anywhere in San Antonio 10 years ago, and not anymore, man. I can't even get down my street in 35 minutes. So
totally. But I am hoping with this new tax incentive that hopefully more stuff will be shooting in the state in general, but also specifically, I'd love to shoot in San Antonio if that were possible down the line at some point.
Yeah, the House just passed 3 million every 2 years. Matthew McConaughey was behind it, of course. Are you excited about the potential of making more movies in Texas?
100%. I mean, I love going home anytime. And I have a couple of projects that one specifically that we'd be shooting hopefully in the Valley and I have family throughout the state. So any opportunity to work back home and tell stories that are native to Texas would be an exciting prospect for me. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever shot a film set in Texas, not filmed in Texas? Because that was one of the big things, like you're telling Texas stories, but you're shooting it in Georgia.
No, actually, I haven't, thankfully. I mean, I haven't shot a lot in Texas, sadly, and it's been a long time since I shot this short with these friends in Austin we were at Troublemaker Studios, Robert Rodriguez's Elizabeth Avellan's studio down there. But I sadly haven't worked as much. And yeah, I know. I actually had this one project where they wanted to shoot Chile for South Texas, which I'm like, I mean, it would be amazing to visit Chile, of course, but but it would be a bummer not to get to shoot in the Valley for sure.
Definitely. So tell me a bit about going into this film and what resonated with you the most about this story or this character. What did you like about it?
Absolutely. I mean, Barron's Cove, written and directed by Evan Kelman, is it's a wonderful kind of throwback in terms of being like just a gritty noir story thriller about a father kind of trying to seek justice for his son who was killed, and he's trying to figure out why and what led to his young child being murdered, unjustifiably murdered. And my character Navarro is this like investigating detective who's he's kind of trying to uncover this also seek justice for this crime. And to me, it's kind of a throwback in a lot of ways. Like very few movies are getting made like this, just like a well-written, exciting thriller. And I thought Evan just did a really great job in terms of the script and then and the way that it was executed and assembling this great cast with Garrett Hedlund and Stephen Lang, Brittany Snow, these incredible actors in the ensemble. So for me to join that, and specifically in the role of this like this investigating detective who's sort of the moral compass of the story was really fun for me.
Yeah, yeah. You
Uh,
talk about moral compass. You play the good cop really well, and you've done it before in your career. Do you ever want to switch up? Do you ever hope that somebody sends you the bad cop role?
yeah, I mean, I played a get back up here and there. In 7 seconds, I was a
Okay.
kind of a shady cop. So, yeah, I like to change it up for sure. I mean, when Barron's Cove came across, um, uh, for my team, just before Barron's Cove, I'd done Cold Wallet, where I played a really kind of
Yeah, I saw that one.
dubious like crypto and investee. I did a movie called Push, where I was kind of a cold-blooded psychopathic killer. So, and just as I was shooting, actually, right at the same time that I was shooting Barron's Cove, I did an episode of American Horror Stories where I played like this very also dubious character. So I like to change it up. And when this script came across, I was excited to play like a guy who was sort of very, kind of an upstanding citizen. And I think the thing that he shares with that my character shares with Garrett Hedlund's character is that they're these fathers that really care for their children and are
Mhm.
driven by their love for their young children. So I like to change it up, absolutely, for
Yeah, you
sure.
have some pretty intense scenes in this film. How do you handle those mentally when somebody like Garrett is coming at you and wants to kind of wring your neck?
Well, yeah, it's great. I mean, you kind of you hope for scene partners that are as committed as Garrett and are as present and that's when it's the most fun when you're playing opposite people who are committed to the work, who when the writing's good and the stakes are as high as they are in a film like this, and then you have a scene partner like Garrett or Stephen Lang, it makes it fun for me. I always love um, when the stakes are this high and you can kind of focus on the work, and thankfully we have a really Evan wrote a really great script and that's if the writing is good and the directing is good
Mhm.
and then they cast it well, then you have uh you have real potential, and which we did, and I was excited for sure.
I'm glad you brought up the stakes being high. I don't think I've ever seen a film where there's a kid that's in so much danger. Like you would see like, an adult getting kidnapped and tied down, but a kid like I don't that's kind of
Yeah, how
crazy.
great was Christian Convery, right?
Yeah, yeah, the kid, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was a big fan of Christian's from Cocaine Bear. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw that movie, but he was wonderful in that. I've heard he's great in Sweet Tooth as well. So yeah, is it Sweet Tooth? Is that the name of the show that he's on? I think.
I think so. The one with the animal, the hybrid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But he's a wonderful young actor. But yeah, it was great to see. Like we had some great high stakes scenes together as well. Yeah.
definitely. I wanted to know because I want to know about your background. Well, I know your background on stage, but do you still have an itch for stage, or has the film and TV industry kind of filled that gap for you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I just did a play earlier this year with it was a short stint, but with my company, Labyrinth Theater Company here in New York
Uh-huh.
City. I did it was a short um, uh, uh, run of a play called Recurring. Before that, I did a play called American Televisions by a wonderful Texan playwright here at New York Theater Workshop. So I try to. It'd been a while since I had done theater when I did American television. It's been 8 years, but I do love. I started in stage and
Hmm.
I try to dip my toes back in when I can. If I like, but again, it all boils down to like the material about it, when American televisions came around, it was such a wonderful play to read, that it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get back on stage. I actually just watched this wonderful documentary called "Going Varsity in Mariachi."
Oh yeah.
It's on Netflix. It's written by it's directed by wife and husband team. I met the director at San Francisco Film Festival, but it made me nostalgic for the time that I spent as a UIL student in
Yeah.
Texas, and all the time that I spent doing competitions in and around Texas. Yeah, so I try to dip back in theater when I can.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got a chance to interview some of those mariachi kids when it came out. So yeah, it was a really
Cool.
good movie. So, what do you think
Yeah,
about a Broadway play going live on TV? It's a new thing, I guess. They're going to do it with George Clooney in about a week or so. Good
that's
Night and
right.
Good Luck on CNN. I think they're going to show it. Have they ever done that before? And what's your take on that?
I know the National Theatre in London does. They record. I don't know if they broadcast it live. I mean, seeing a play, there's nothing like seeing a play live. I don't think that theater translates as well when it's filmed. I always advocate for people to see things live when they can. But then at the same time, if you're not able to see something live, and if you could see it recorded. I mean, I know here at Lincoln Center, here in New York, Lincoln Center has a bunch of performances taped over the years, and you can go to Lincoln Center and see like all these like storied productions, productions that I had heard about but never seen, that
Hmm.
had been done before I moved to the city, for instance, or stuff that I just happened to miss, and I can go down to Lincoln Center and see recorded productions of it. So and which I've done in the past. So it's exciting. I'm glad they're doing Good Night and Good Luck live. I have a couple friends in that production, so I didn't get to see that play. So maybe I'll get to see the recorded production.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'll make this my last question, but I know you probably can't talk too much about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but overall, what makes a 90s thriller like that interesting to remake?
Um, for me, it was Michelle Garza Cervera, the director of that film. She made a wonderful movie called Huesera that I'm a huge fan of, and her
Yeah.
her tape between her and Michael Bloomberg, the screenwriter of this recent reboot, kind of the way that they rethought it and sort of flipped the script, I think was really exciting. Michelle is a really gifted director, and I
Mhm.
think she was really well supported in that process. And between her and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Micah Monroe, who were the two leads of the film, I mean, they are did such wonderful work. And I haven't seen the finished product, but I've heard really good things, and I'm excited about the film. It was a really good process. And I think if the sometimes the vibe, you never know with a film because you do all this work, and it's like ultimately how the film is edited down,
Yeah,
and but the process was a good one and a very positive experience that I hope that it translates to the stage.
very cool. Yeah, what I said I was a very underrated body horror movie. I wish more people saw that. It was really, really good, amazing. So,
Completely. I mean, it's a,
mhm.
it's a really, it's a horror thriller, but at the end of the day, it's a really kind of elevated art house movie
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned. And I think
definitely.
Michelle is like such a talent, and she's like someone to certainly watch. I know she's going to continue to make great films in the future.
Great. Hey, Raul, thank you so much again for taking the time, man, and congratulations on Barron's Cove. And we'll keep in touch, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Kiko. Always appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
Take care, man. Bye bye.